Hey everybody, and welcome to this amazing tutorial video. In today's lesson, we're going to build a glass-style radio button selector for choosing between three plans: silver, gold, and platinum. As you can see, it has three options. By default, the first option is selected, and when I click on the second one, the first one deselects, and the second one is set as the selected option. Each button has its own nice gradient background with nice glowing effects around it, and it also has nice animations. Overall, it's an amazing tutorial. Don't miss it and watch till the end. Let's start and see how we can create such an amazing project. To begin, we have our HTML structure. Inside the body tag, there's a container with the class planContainer. Inside this container, we have three radio inputs. The first input has an ID of silver option and is checked by default. That means when the page loads, silver will be selected. Next, there's a label for silver option. This label simply says silver. When we click this label, it will select the associated radio button. Right after that, we have another input. This one has an ID of gold option. It's not checked by default. Below that, we have a label for gold option. This label displays gold. Then we do the same thing for the platinum option. We create an input with the ID platinum option, and the label below it just says platinum. Finally, there's a div with the class glass glider. This is the moving element that will slide behind the selected label, creating a shiny gliding effect when switching between plans. It gives a very modern and clean UI experience. Now let's look at the CSS that styles everything, starting with the body. We define two custom properties at the top. One is called BG and the other is text. These will help us reuse color values throughout the style sheet. The background value is a semi-transparent white and the text color is a light gray. The body itself takes up the full viewport height using height 100 VH. The background color is set to a very dark gray. We also set the font family to Arial to keep things simple and clean. To center everything both vertically and horizontally, we use Flexbox. Display is set to flex, and then we apply justify content center and align items center. This brings our planContainer right into the center of the screen, no matter the size. Now we style the planContainer itself. This is the wrapper that holds our three options and the glider. We start by setting display flex. That means all child elements will line up next to each other in a row. The background is set using our custom BG variable, which gives us that slightly see-through look. The container has rounded corners using border radius 1 rem. To create a frosted glass effect, we use backdrop filter with a blur of 12 px. Then we apply a box shadow. This includes 2 inset shadows and 1 outer shadow. The first inset shadow is a light one from the top left, and the second is darker from the bottom right. This gives the container depth and helps it stand out from the background. The outer shadow adds just a bit of lift. Finally, we set overflow hidden so nothing spills outside the rounded corners. Now, we move on to the radio input elements inside the planContainer. We don't want to show the default radio buttons, so we set their display to none. This hides them completely from view but keeps them functional in the background. Next up are the label elements. These are the buttons users actually click. Each label is styled to look like a tab. We set display flex and align items center and justify content center. This makes sure the text is centered vertically and horizontally. The minimum width is set to 80 px to make sure each tab has enough space. Font size is 14 px. Padding is set to 0.8 rem top and bottom and 1.6 rem left and right, which gives it a comfortable clickable area. The cursor is set to pointer so it feels like a button when hovered. We also make the font a bit heavier with font weight 600. Letter spacing is slightly increased to make the text more readable. Finally, we set the text color using the custom text variable, and we make sure labels stay on top of the glider by setting their z-index to 2. Now we add a hover effect to the labels. When a user hovers over any label, the color changes to white. This gives a little visual feedback and makes the UI feel more interactive. Next, we style the selected label. When a radio input is checked and it is followed directly by a label, we want that label to also have white text, so we use the input checked plus label selector. This keeps the selected option highlighted even when you're not hovering over it. After that, we get into the styling for the glass glider. This is the moving background that slides under the selected label. We set its position to absolute so it can move freely inside the plan container. Top and bottom are set to 0 so it stretches the full height of the container. The width is calculated to be 1/3 of the container by using 100% for 3. That way, it lines up perfectly with one of the 3 labels. The border radius is set to match the container so corners stay smooth. Then we set up transition effects. This includes a transform animation with a custom timing curve for a bouncy feel and smooth changes for background and shadow. Now we start defining how the glass glider should move and look depending on which radio button is selected. First, we style the silver option. When the input with the ID silver option is checked, we want the glider to move into place. We use the checked selector followed by the general sibling selector targeting the glass glider. The transform property is set to translate X 0%. That means it stays in the first position right behind the silver label. Then we give it a linear gradient background. This gradient goes at a 135 degrees angle and blends a transparent silver tone with a light gray. This creates a shiny look under the silver label. To complete the look, we add a box shadow. It has an outer glow with a subtle silver tint and an inner glow using white. This helps make it feel like it's glowing softly behind the label. Now we do the same for the gold option. When the radio input with the ID gold option is checked, we want the glider to slide into the second position. We use transform translate X 100%. This shifts the glass glider exactly 1 tab to the right, lining it up behind the gold label. Next, we change the background to a new linear gradient. This one uses soft gold tones. It starts with a semi-transparent gold and fades into a rich yellow. This creates a warm glowing effect behind the selected tab. For the box shadow, we add a golden outer glow using a soft yellow color. Inside, we include a lighter tone to give it a glowing edge. This gives the selected gold tab the appearance of being softly lit from behind. Now we move to the platinum option. When the radio input with the ID platinum option is checked, we apply styles to the glider again. This time, the transform uses translate X 200%. That moves the glider 2 tabs to the right, lining it up behind the platinum label. The background uses a linear gradient again. This one blends a soft, transparent sky blue with a more vivid blue. It gives a cool metallic feel that suits the platinum name. Then we apply a new box shadow. It uses a subtle light blue outer glow and a softer inner glow in a pale sky tone. This completes the platinum look and keeps it consistent with the style of the other 2 options. The glider now responds smoothly to whichever plan the user selects. At this point, our interactive selector is complete. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, bro. If you liked this video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't joined our family yet. See you in the next one. Have fun.